Hey, good morning, everybody. It's Trinh Wauer and Rick Janson. And is eXp good for a new agent? We're following Trinh for the year. Good morning, Trinh.
Good morning, Rick. How are you?
Doing awesome. Got it unplugged for 18 hours. My wife took the kids, and so I mean, we're married, we live together, but she was like, "I've got this. You go take a break." And so I went up to Estes Park and chased some elk around for a little bit with my camera and just relaxed for a little bit. It was nice.
Great, awesome. That's cool. Well, I've had a great weekend. I think the last time I talked to you, I met my mentor. eXp
Yeah.
does this with a mentor through the mentor program.
I have not heard about that. So tell me. So at eXp, when you're brand new and if you've done fewer than 3 deals, we assign you a mentor so that you have that in-person connection that new agents are often wanting. And we want to make sure that you're successful. So the local mentor, the design of the program is this is someone who's been certified how to coach someone and train someone. But it's really kind of the nuts and bolts of how to orient to eXp, how to get, where to find your contract software, how to find your first photographer, where to buy signs. So they make it 10%. So for your first 3 deals, you're on an 80-20 split, and 10%, an extra 10% goes to a mentor, and then you're released into the wild. But tell me, you got, I just wanted to get people up to speed there in 30 seconds or less. Tell me, how is meeting your mentor? Lost your audio.
Sorry, I apologize. I have dogs going crazy because Amazon came to the door. But anyway, that's how life is. She was awesome. Her name is Kathy Malicio. And let me kind of tell you how I met her, because this will give you an insight on how plugged in we are with eXp and their different resources. And so, through the workplace, I've been trying to engage and meet people, and I'm constantly reading the feeds and learning more stuff about what's going on in the eXp world. I was actually assigned a mentor the week before. And
was that through email, phone call? How did that happen?
So the mentor program reached out to me, and they basically said, here's your mentor. I looked at his, and nothing wrong with this mentor at all, but based on the experience that he had and the background, I felt that I needed a better fit for me, because I know how to work. And this is the nice thing. The mentor program is you're not obligated to work with just the one person. Obviously you want to work with somebody that you can truly learn from and that your styles fit. And that was what was important to me, is that I needed to meet somebody or work with somebody that I knew I could have a similar style and mindset. And so I reached out to them and I said, I'm sorry, is there any way that I can find somebody else? And that's what they offered you. They said, look, if this doesn't work, you can find somebody else. You can request another person.
Awesome.
And they were having a hard time finding someone in my area or close to it that would fit the criteria that I was looking for. But through Workplace, I attended a rookie roundtable. Again, this goes back to the resources that eXp offers. The Virginia State Broker Room offers roundtables every Friday. And I was in this roundtable. I met other agents, and this other agent spoke up and said, by the way, I was assigned a mentor, but she's not really in my area. They thought she was, and she can help. She's available to help. So if you need a mentor, let me know, and I'll send you her name. And that's what we did. I connected to him. I connected through him through Workplace. He sent me her information. And as soon as I provided the mentor program people her name, they assigned us and hooked us up together. And
awesome.
From there. Yep.
Yeah. So, what I love about that, 2 things. One is the tools were, first, it happens automatically. Second is, if it's not a good fit, you can go out and proactively work to find your own, right? And I love the fact that you took ownership of that. You didn't say, oh, woe is me. I not a good fit, and I'm going to quit. Hey, it's not a good fit. I'm going to go solve my problem because I'm designing my own real estate business. I want to be successful. I want someone who's going to really gel with me, have my back. And you went out and solved the problem, but eXp had the tools and the resources and the collaboration to allow you to do so.
Absolutely. Honestly, Rick, I don't know how I would have found a mentor otherwise. I mean, I think anybody that enters any type of new industry, a mentor is so critical to your success. There's so much to navigate in the real estate world, and I'm still trying to wrap my head around all the moving parts, right? Getting set up, getting organized, creating a foundation of what I need to do as far as the next steps. And a lot of that's really overwhelming. And so who wouldn't want a mentor? But you want to make sure there's a mentor that fits what your needs are. And we went and met for coffee that Thursday. That's why I couldn't meet with you. And we were there for 2 hours talking.
Nice.
We had a great connection. The nice thing is that, and I think I told you I'm learning Spanish, right?
Yeah.
So she actually happens to be a fluently speaking Spanish person.
Oh, awesome.
And so we've actually, so to me, it was perfect. She's actually been speaking to me in Spanish. We text in Spanish so I can practice. And I could not have found a better mentor, to be honest. We just had a meeting this morning. We're trying to set up a weekly meeting where we have touch points and also coordinate our schedules so that I can actually start shadowing her, which is so critical for me. That's what I need. I need real life, real time experience.
Yeah. And when you first came to me, you're like, Rick, I'm in Virginia, you're in Denver. How are you possibly going to be a good fit for me for eXp, right? And I said, what did I say? I was like, because eXp is global. We're going to plug you in. We're going to get you the local help you need. But by joining Libertas, by joining our group, you also got access to free coaching from Sean Kokoska, who used to be president of coaching globally for Keller Williams. And you've started the Accelerated Breakthrough program.
Yep. And that's exciting too. I really enjoyed that class. So that's other thing. As a new agent, not just in the industry, but just in a broker itself, there's so many resources. And if you aren't familiar, or if someone isn't there like you to actually guide me through that, I wouldn't know where to start. So the Accelerated Breakthrough is a great, for me, a great foundation to just say, okay, this is where you start getting organized. This is where you can start marketing yourself and prospecting and building up your business, because everyone is aiming right now for the first sale, right? When you're a brand new agent, you just want that first sale. So no, it's been helpful. And I know it's going to help me push through barriers that I have, and also, test, and I think we've talked about this. There's some, there's insecurities that I have. I think everybody going into new industry, you're asking yourself, how do you do this? How do you do that? What are the best approaches? And this helps put a framework around that, because you're learning from people that are really experienced and knowledgeable. They've done it. They've come before you and they have many, many years of experience. So why wouldn't I want to learn from them?
Right.
So I'm excited.
That's awesome. So I've got a question for you. Like I was contemplating this morning, and there are so many people who never get their first deal, right? And the carrot in front of them is the same, right? There's, you do a $300,000 deal, 3% of 300,000 is 9,000, rough give or take, depending upon your market. You get maybe 80% of that at eXp, so now you're at 7,200. So the carrot is the same, right? But a lot of people never make it. Is there and I was thinking about like designing a program like, hey, all around, like a free program just riveted on how to get your very first deal. What extra carrot could we put on top of there? I was thinking throw a cruise, throw a hotel room. Like, what carrot would motivate someone beyond the 7,200 that's already there?
That's a great question. I really do think it comes down to that person. To me, my carrot is just wanting to make my first sale and start making money, right?
Yeah.
It doesn't necessarily have to be anything on top of that. To me, I want to be able to cap in my first year, in the time that I have. I'm starting later in the year, but that's completely possible. But I think the person has to be driven enough and have their own personal goals. I would think, if anything, to me, eXp makes it really attractive. Once you cap, then you start getting all these other incentives. You start, making 100%, and then you start also getting more shares, right? To me, that's the extra carrot that eXp is offering. In terms of offering a carrot as far as for the team, like team members, or just, each other?
Yeah, anybody, whether they're at eXp or, I don't care what franchise they're at. Get your first deal.
I think, if you're going to talk about giving anybody anything, I think a trip is always attractive. Yeah. I think now that everything is opening up and people, didn't really travel last year, people are getting vaccinated, I think a trip would be a really attractive carrot if you had to. But again, for me, I don't need that. I want, I have certain goals that I have. But to me, if you're going to attract someone by dangling an extra carrot, then that would be an attractive one.
All right.
Who wouldn't want to travel and get a free trip?
Yeah, there you go. So capping, you know what the gross commission is to cap, right? So What is it?
16.
Well, it's 16 to eXp, but 80,000 GCI. So 80,000 GCI is roughly 2.4 million in sales, right? Times 3%. But we really want to make that your floor, not your ceiling. Like you said, hey, my goal is to cap, right?
Oh yeah,
and then I start making 100%. But we need to start viewing that as like a minimum, right? That is like the floor to where you start getting going. And I know you already think this way, but I'm just kind of encouraging others. You can think, well, if I cap, I've made it. Well, if you cap, you're just getting started. Because once you cap, now you have some tools in place. Now you have some patterns in place. Now you have some scripts and rhythms in place. There's nothing stopping you from going from, that 80,000 GCI to 150K, from then 150K to 200K, right? 80K is a launch point. And now, when there are going to be realtors that are watching this that are like, wait a minute, the average realtor is making like 24 to 40,000, something like that, like something ridiculously small. But that's because they're actually not working it as a business, right? What are you doing differently to work eXp like a business? I mean, you're in real estate to make money by serving others at the highest possible level.
I think having Sean's training is definitely key to it, because it changes your mindset on how you might approach this. Some people might not think I've got to approach this as a business. If they don't have previous business training, or if they're getting into real estate as a fairly new career without previous experience, then they may not have that mindset, right? And I think it's just having the tools to let them know that you can do this if you follow certain processes. And that's what I like about what we've done so far as the Libertas team. We're very process oriented. You take kind of the guesswork out of it. If you're willing to put yourself out there and to take a risk, then following the lead of other people that have been successful, I don't see where we can go wrong. I think it's just a matter of making sure that you understand that it is going to be hard work. I mean, none of this is going to come easy, but not be afraid of it and just be willing to do it. I think really that's key. And I think getting plugged into the training also helps you stay motivated, because you're in a team, you're in a team environment, you're learning from each other, you're learning from experts. But it's a way of keeping other accountable too. And I think that's the big thing, is keeping each other accountable. And that's why I liked his accountability spreadsheets and, tasks and homework that we need to do, like the 100 things that you need to list, right? Exactly. Daily accountability. I printed all those out. And so that's what you need to do. And I think having something like this that you can get plugged in to make yourself accountable, but set clear goals. And you heard the people on the call, you might start off with small goals at first, but those small goals continue to grow and grow. And so when I said, being able to cap, that to me is my first goal, right?
Yeah, nice.
But that should not be my end all goal, obviously. Clearly, you get to that point, you're right. You should be at a point where you can break through that and get much, you can exceed much higher than that. Yeah. So as we were on the call, I had my calculator out and I was doing calculations like, okay, if I wanted to make X amount this year, well, how many houses or how much gross do I need to sell? So nice. It starts you thinking.
It does start you thinking. So how can I, with a couple minutes that are left, how can I help you this week? What challenges do you face this week? What can I point you in the right direction of? Where can I be present for you?
I think right now I'm still working on, I reached out to, I had 8 conversations. I 2 more to do. Okay. That was our goal, 10 conversations. And that's easy. I can do that today, but I think.
Well, 10 conversations a day.
Yes. Oh yeah. 10 conversations. And I didn't do that over the weekend. I'll be honest with you, because I was really busy, but I need to be able to really focus on doing that and managing my time better so that I can get those goals hit every single day. And so I have to ask you, when you do your calls, or when you do you do that within a certain time frame in the morning and then just get it all done? What if you don't reach people? What do you do? Because it could be,
I was taught how to time block in a really powerful way, which was that time blocking is about not designing your work, it's about designing your life. And if you design your lifestyle, then there's plenty of time left to work. So take a calendar, break it out by print it out, break it out by half-hour time blocks. 15 minutes, whatever you want, and say, okay, Tuesday from 1 to 3, I'm going to go to the grocery store. Every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, I'm going to take lunch with a friend. So that's 2 hours, and I'm going to be home for breakfast 5 days a week. I'm going to be home for dinner 5 days a week. I'm going to go for walks with my dog. I'm going to do my rescue missions with the Korean dogs. I'm going to do all this stuff, right? Put all of it on the calendar. Say, this is my priority, my life, my lifestyle. And when you look at how, and you should be happy looking at your calendar, like, look, I get to do everything I want to do. Everything I want to do is on my calendar. This is fantastic. And then you look and there's going to be so much white space. Now with that white space, you start plugging in your work. You start saying, okay, I need 1 or 2 hours to do I need 2 hours to do phone calls today, right? And I need probably 6 hours this week to meet with my mentor, do buyer previews, do listing previews, go on appointments, and you start plugging in your work time. Do the stuff you know you have first, your calls. I need to make 10 conversations. I'm going to box 2 hours out for that. I need 2 hours a day with all of this white space, where it's at. And then you're going to look at the rest of that white space and say, okay, just slash through it and say, okay, these are my work blocks. I can do buyer previews. I can do listing appointments. I can do neighborhood tours. I can do video promotion. I can do whatever I want, but these are my hours, right? And remember, block out like 15 to 30 minutes for the social media, the directed social media, not random social media. And say, okay, I need to do this. I need to do that. I need to take care of myself. Here's time to work out. Here's time to go for a walk. I need time to relax. Like all of your relaxation and life is designed in. Then your mandatories, right? Your prospecting. Just say what time is left, and then you protect that. And you go to your husband and you go to your spouse or whoever's watching this, you go to your loved ones and you say, look, here's my calendar. All of this green time is time I'm spending with you. I'm putting my phone down and I'm not going to work. This is my time with you, and I'm going to fiercely protect that. But here's the trade-off. This blue time, or whatever colors codes you make it, right, is my money-making time. And that allows me to be free with you the rest of it. Give me my work time, and you will have me for all of the free time. And that's how, and you just make that handshake agreement. You're like, look, I'm going to be present. Because we don't have a time problem, we have a priority problem. Everybody has the same 24 hours in a day. Some people are making $1 million a month. Some people are making $2 a day. Everybody has the same time in the day is what we're doing with it, right? So design your lifestyle so that you love your calendar and your family loves your calendar.
That's great advice. And that changes your mindset about how to manage your time. I appreciate that. And I'll probably, I'd love to see how you do that, because to me, I think that's probably one of the challenges of being in a business brand new and trying to figure out, hey, what steps do I take, or what do I do first, and what's a priority? And I think blocking the time and making sure that you stick to it is probably key to being successful.
Yeah, and don't see how I do it. Do it just like I said. Like print out, all the hours of the day, half-hour time blocks, and design your life. Right? Put in all your free stuff.
Okay, that's.
And then put in 2 hours of prospecting a day. Put in 1 hour for. You're new, so put in 1 hour for training, get acquainted. Like 1 hour definitely for just like learning systems, talking to your mentor, learning eXp University, but don't spend too much time on it, right? Because you can get drowned. You can get lost in it. It's fun, right? Maybe put in an hour a day for training, right? Maybe an hour a day for orientation, an hour a day for training. So now you've got 2 hours of prospecting, 1 hour of training, 1 hour of systems orientation, right? Non-money making stuff, but stuff you got to do. And then, you still have maybe 3 or 4 hours of workday left, but in 4 hours, you've done all your prospecting, all your training, all your stuff, right? You're not going down a rabbit hole and doing 4 hours of training today and forgetting to prospect.
Right.
Like I hit my hour, done. I've trained. I've done my hour of orientation, software implementation, systems learning, all that stuff, done, right? 1 hour is training eXp, or like how to be a realtor. 1 hour is training on all our systems. 2 hours of prospecting. That 2 hours of prospecting every day is what gets you to the money.
That's
right.
What we're talking about.
That is absolutely first priority.
I agree. Okay. That's
But that's it. And I don't know where it's going to go. It might be a half hour in the morning. It might be another half hour here. It might be 2 hour time block. It might be 1 hour here, followed by a break, followed by 1 hour later in the afternoon. It's your life. It's your lifestyle. So design it so that it's fun. But make sure you have the 10 conversations. Make sure that they do involve real estate or they don't count.
Okay.
Right.
Great. Okay. Great. Well, thank you for that advice. I think time management and prioritization is so important. I think the more and that's why I'm glad to be part of Sean's class, because those are going to teach me the skills that I need to know and put processes in place for that, because having those spreadsheets that he gave us really help.
Yeah, absolutely. And when you're having those conversations about real estate, remember it's about, hey, can I get your address to provide a home valuation? Kind of let's dream for a little bit. What would, if you are you in your dream house right now? No. What would you change if you could? I know you're not moving right now, but what would you change if you could? Would you live closer to work? Would you live in a different school district? Would you live on open space with a view of the water? Like, tell me about your dream house. Let's just spend 30 seconds dreaming together because we're friends.
Yep. Okay.
Right? And just get them to imagine moving. My wife imagines moving all the time. Right? Cul-de-sac, back into open space, close to school. If that home comes up, we're gone. I don't care what's going on in our life, we're going to move because there are only like 5 to 10 of them in our neighborhood that we'd move to. And we've postcarded them, we've written to them, we've door knocked. But when they move, we're going to be there.
Yep.
So she's dreaming of that lifestyle. And every once in a while, she dreams outside the neighborhood because our dream's not possible here, right? Because they have the dream home, so they're not moving, right? They already locked it in for life. And then we're in a kind of neighborhood where people usually pass it on to their kids, right? Like people just keep that house for 50 years.
Right.
So, but get people dreaming, right? So if we can't have that house, well, what are we going to do? Well, now she's like, okay, let's buy a cabin in the mountains on a river. So at least we have that someplace to go to every weekend where the kids can play in the creek. And I say, okay, tell me more about that. How far away from home is it? And I say, tell me more about that. And I get her, what's the payment on that look like? And I get her telling me about her dream so that I can go hunt for her dream, right? And it's the same thing with anybody you're going to be talking to, whether it's their primary residence or an investment property or a vacation property. Hey, maybe they are in their dream home. Awesome. Well, have you ever thought about tapping into the equity of that and getting a vacation home or a rental property? Would that be of interest to you? Right? Just poke around the edges. 1 in 6 people is going to move this year.
Yep.
There's this pent up demand. So find those people.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Sounds good. Well, thank you very much. Always good advice from you. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Trinh. You have a great day. Feel free to reach out via text or phone or anything you need to reach me.
Yep. I'll see you on Sean's call on Wednesday, and then Thursday we have ours.
Yep.
Okay. Have a good one. Thanks.
Awesome. Okay. You bet. Bye-bye.
Bye.